Oh, here we go. What's this? It's chapter 5, I think? Is it chapter 5? Yeah. Let's see if I got an ending that wasn't neutral. Okay, I got me an ending. I got me a Bryce ending. Let's see if it's the good one or the bad one. Come on, Bryce, let's do it. That must be him. What's up? I hope you're ready to see the fireworks, because I brought everything we need. In front of him, there was a woven basket that was closed at the top. It reminded me a lot of a typical picnic basket. We're talking about snacks and other things, you'll see. Let's go. After a few minutes of walking, we arrived at a rather empty-looking area near the edge of town. Whereas everyone else, I thought the whole population was going to be watching the fireworks. Well, there are more public spaces, but someone like you would get pushed around a lot in the crowds. Besides, I think you'll appreciate the solitude. Okay, if you say so. The fireworks should be starting any minute now. If you're hungry, you can grab something from the fun basket. The fun basket. That's what I call it. I didn't know snacks were that much fun for you. They certainly can be. Besides, there are other things inside as well. What has he got in there? Yeah, I think it's starting. We waited quietly as the stillness of the night enveloped us. Soon, I heard the sounds of the first rocket making its way into the night sky, after which it exploded in a pattern of colours. More rockets followed, their thunderous noise echoing throughout the land. That's them fireworks going off. Okay, you remember what happened last time there were fireworks? Is that what the fun basket is for? Actually, no, not unless you feel adventurous. Okay, we're already outside. That's pretty adventurous, I'd say. Suit yourself. Bryce opened the basket, feeling around in it with one of his claws. Meanwhile, my gaze wandered to the illuminated night sky. Suddenly, a terrible realization hit me. Considering how public of an event this was and how everyone would be watching the fireworks, now would be the best time for Reza to make his move. Not only was the village basically deserted, but sounds of the fireworks would also overshadow any gunshots, giving him as much security as he would ever have. As the portal had been repaired by the mysterious person I met, now was the perfect time for Reza to make his getaway, and I was the only person who knew. Yo, Bryce, we gotta go, now. What? Do you want to take this somewhere else? Stop flirting, my dude. I know where Reza is. What are you talking about? Are you sure? I bet my life on it. Then we got no time to lose. Let's go. We are off to the portal. We arrived at the portal just a few minutes later. While I checked out the portal itself, Bryce looked around the area. I was glad to see it was still turned off. Had it been used recently, it would either still be running or in the process of recharging. Reza was still here though, somewhere. God damn it, what? What's up? Hesitating, I drew nearer. No, Sebastian! Is there ever a time he doesn't get killed? It's like the worst thing. It seriously is. He's dead but still warm. Ah! Bastard. True dat. Reza hasn't used the portal yet. How could he? Isn't it broken? Not anymore. Someone repaired it. Then he must be close, but where is he? What's so important that he won't leave without it? The underground building. The administrator had told me about the prowess of the generators within. It probably hadn't been hard for Reza to guess the same, or to try stealing it from a place he knew would be even more deserted than the rest of the village was right now. That must be it. What do we do? We could wait for him here, but I've got an even better plan. What's that? Let's just do it like last time. You go in first, and I'll stay behind out of sight. If you meet him, you can confront him and maybe talk him down. If he tries to flee, he'll still have to get through me first. Okay, let's go. Bryce led me to the dig site where they had unearthed the building's entry. Once we got nearer, he stayed behind and motioned for me to go forward. He slowly followed me, trying to stay in cover as I entered the building. Okay, we are inside. I was met with a long illuminated hallway that was lined with doors on both sides. Since the lights were already on, Reza had to be very close. I wasn't surprised at the building still having electricity, since his generators were also powering the portal. Suddenly, one of the doors opened, and out came Reza carrying a large cardboard box. When he spotted me, he set it on the ground. There he is, bastard. Okay, I've done this conversation a couple of times, but I'm going to read through it anyway for the benefit of people who just check these individual videos as opposed to watching the whole thing. So if you've seen this before, skip ahead for a few minutes. Okay, there you are, Ushio. You don't know how glad I am to see you. I've wanted to talk with you for so long. I even tried to contact you, but that didn't work with one of them on your tail the whole time. The talking can wait. Now that you're here, we've got everything. Come on, let's get out of here. Nope. Nope, what are you talking about? I'm not doing nothing until you answer some questions. You want to talk now? Why not? We've got a few hours if we wanted to. None of them will disturb us here. We could even get the backup generator as well after we send this one over. When did you realise we were in the past? How did you know about the comet? I've known for a while. It's what I wanted to talk to you about when we met at the portal. How about you? I only found out recently. Looking back, it just seems obvious. I'm not sure exactly how you figured it out, but there are so many damn clues when you think about it. I mean, how could a supposedly completely different independent civilization speak the same language as us? What was this supposed to be, an alternate reality? No, it was just a different time. When was there ever anything resembling these creatures on Earth? It's not hard to make the jump from dragons to dinosaurs when some of them here look pretty damn near identical to dinosaurs that we know about. And then there are also the prehistoric fruits, the plants, and the fact that their technological level is nearly exactly the same as our own past society. But we don't even have to think that abstract. You just needed to look at the sky. The sun, the moon, and even the stars are the same. Constellations change over time, of course, but you know we could account for that stuff. You could have just pointed your PDA at the sky and it would have told you the time period, including the imminent threat of being eradicated. You could even see the meteorite in the sky and how it would change its position day after day. You done being condescending? Yeah. You killed the dragons. What are you talking about? I didn't kill no one. Don't lie to me. I remember it now. What do you mean? That doesn't make no sense. Are you telling me you weren't the one who stole the generators and those other things these past 2 weeks? No, I was in hiding. This is really different now. After what happened at the portal, I didn't dare to do anything that could jeopardize our mission. Why didn't you just come back? How could I? They wanted to arrest me. I was a fugitive. I was surprised they didn't apprehend you, but then you weren't the one who shot at one of their police officers. Come on, Reza. The murders only started happening after you were gone, and the police have gathered plenty of evidence. You're the only one with a motive. All I did this whole time was try to find ways to contact you so we could talk of our people and figure something out for me. Why would I escalate the situation like that? This is really weird. The other endings I've done, Reza's the bad guy and he's been going around killing everyone. This is the first time you said that he's had nothing to do with that. Okay. Besides, how did you know so much about what the police were doing? I've been helping them because you were going about this the wrong way. I didn't kill no one, I'm telling you. Fuck. They have proof. I've seen it myself. Turn yourself in and we'll go from there. No one can help you if you don't do that. No, I'm not going to turn myself in for something I didn't do. Not for these beasts. Who knows what they'll do to someone like me in captivity? And how else do you expect this to end? I'm not doing anything until I've got free passage back home. Actually, I could just leave this place right now. The portal's fixed after all. Not gonna happen. Let me ask you one thing. How exactly are you planning on to stop me? I'm the one with the gun. You would shoot me to save your own hide? Only if you insist on standing in my way. You're not going to get away that easily. What are you going to do, huh? I'll be long gone by the time you call the cops. I don't need to, Reza. They're already here. Suddenly, Bryce and Maverick were standing next to me. Maverick's here as well. Okay, here we go. You planned this, didn't you? Traitor. And to think I let you distract me with such a cheap trick. And because I thought there was still a shred of humanity within you. Oh, here comes the gun. He pulled out his gun, not sure which one of us he should be aiming at. Let me go and I'll forget this thing ever happened. You got 6 bullets and 3 people. Do you really think you can do that, Reza? Do you think this is worth risking your life for? I've been risking my life for this every day for the last 2 weeks. What did you do during that time? Sip champagne in your nice apartment? I also had steak. Besides, this generator and the whole building came from our time. They belong to humanity. Suddenly, the administrator came out of the shadows in the hallway behind Reza. There she is. They belong to me. Confused, Reza spun around, aiming his gun at the newcomer who was slowly walking towards him. Who the fuck are you? Freeds. Want to waste your bullets on me? Feel free, you can't stop all of us. Oh shit, if you say so. Uh-oh. Oh! He pulled the trigger, and the administrator fell to the ground with a dull thud that knocked her mask off. Oh, she did! Okay, it's started, it's beginning. My first instinct was to run away, but as Bryce and Maverick started charging, so did I. Oh my god, blap blap blap. Oh! Reza was quick with his aim, shooting both Maverick and Bryce twice before pointing his gun in my direction. I quickly dove behind a box with the generator for cover, as Reza pulled the trigger multiple times. You're out of bullets. Only a single shot came out and lodged itself in the box. Though I was seemingly unharmed, a loud hiss began to emanate from my cover. That's not good. Everyone run, it's gonna go! I started running towards the exit, and was soon overtaken by both Reza and Maverick. I looked back over my shoulder to see Bryce grab the administrator before he started running as well. Everybody out. Just as I reached the outside, the explosion knocked me off my feet. There was a rain of small debris as I heard the walls of the building shaking in their foundation. As I looked up, I saw Reza fumbling with his gun as Maverick pounced on him. Blomp! He bit into Reza's neck and strained for a second before ripping a large chunk out of it. What the fuck? Reza wasn't moving when Maverick walked off and came toward me. Where's Bryce? I looked toward the entry, which was now mostly blocked by debris. He must still be inside. What are you waiting for? Let's go! We ran towards the rubble, only to see the administrator crawling out through a small hole as she removed the last bits of debris that separated her from the outside world. Afterwards, she laid down, panting heavily. Water began to trickle from the new opening. It's the water pockets. The building must be flooded. And he's still inside. I'll clear away the rubble, and you try to find him. We both set to work as I stuck my head into the hole that the administrator had crawled out of. The place was flooded completely, but luckily, even through the water, I could see Bryce as he also tried to clear away the rubble from the other side. Quickly, I pulled my head back out of the hole. He's on the other side, trying to get through. Who knows how long he's been underwater? Give him some air. I took a deep breath before I went in again. I extended my arm to grab Bryce's muzzle. Luckily, he seemed to understand what I was going for as he moved into my reach. I pressed my lips to his muzzle, giving him some much needed air. I drew back, repeating the same process a few times while Maverick cleared away the rubble, but eventually Bryce surfaced, panting heavily. He's out. Are you okay? Yeah, let's get away from here before the empty water pockets cave in or something. Maverick carried the administrator while we went uphill toward the portal. Yeah, Reza's... Yeah, sorry dude. You dead. When I came across Reza's corpse, I took the time to strip him of his gun and ammo, not wanting the dragons to find them. Meanwhile, the administrator was set on the ground, and Bryce checked out everyone's injuries. Luckily, it seemed both Bryce's and Maverick's were comparatively minor and didn't need any immediate attention. The administrator was not so lucky, however. She squirmed as Bryce moved her clothes out of the way to get a good look at her bullet wound. Don't. As I returned to them, I heard Bryce audibly gasping. Damn. Is it bad? Okay, do you remember the first victim? The blood on his muzzle from fighting back was neither yours or Reza's, but distinctly human. I thought it was an error, or that our DNA tests weren't compatible. But Reza doesn't have a matching bite wound from him. She does. Okay, this is a twist I was not expecting. I considered the implications of Bryce's words. Whereas Reza usually didn't hesitate to admit the killings to reach a goal he thought noble, he had denied any such actions this time. Of course, there was no use ignoring the evidence before us. This could only mean one thing. Why did you do it, Izumi? Why did you kill them? He did kill them, you know, just not in this timeline. What? If you can even remember my name now, then you should also remember what else he would have done, how he would enslave them to use as weapons back in the future, and how he doesn't care what happens to this world. I had to do it in order to put you on the same trail he would have. If I'd come to you during the first night and tried to explain to you that I'm the time traveller who had to kill in order to prevent a suffering that is magnitudes greater, genocide, slavery, would you have believed me? Who could have known that sometimes even Reza can change? If he didn't kill anyone, there would have been no investigation, and you wouldn't have known how dangerous he is when he shows his true colours. You just saw that even in this scenario, he wouldn't shy away from shooting others to get what he wants. Besides, I didn't want to risk jeopardising our experience by changing things. It could erase all the progress we've made, and the things we learned over the many times we've done this now. This is my 3rd time through. If I didn't shove you out of the way in the cellar with the light fixture came down, you would have died there and then. That's what happened the first few times. There was a lot of trial and error involved to where we are now. You wouldn't believe the lengths I have to go to every single time, and the consequences if I don't. You could not have followed the same path, and arrived here if I didn't kill them. The fact that you remember that it was originally Reza who did it only proves just how important this is. Only if the events stay the same long enough will you be able to learn from them and remember, despite the effects the repeated teleportations have on your memory. This only tells me that I made the right call. Okay, if Reza had nothing to do with it, then what was he doing when he was trying to take the generator? I slipped him a note he thought came from you. It said to meet here and take the generator before you leave together. He played his part well enough, so you couldn't tell the difference. So, he really did think that I planned all of this, that I lured him here and had him arrested by Bryce and Maverick. For all he's done, I think he deserves to know what betrayal feels like. Oh my god, she's kinda like the puppet master. I've listened to this long enough now. It was you, and that's all that matters to me. Don't do it, my dude. I'll tear you apart. Oh shit. Oh! Bryce tried to go between them, but Maverick aimed his shoulder squarely into Bryce's bullet wound. Bryce collapsed, convulsing in pain, as Maverick pounced on Izmi and tore into her. Oh my god, meanwhile, I put a few bullets into the gun I took from Reza before I aimed at Maverick and pulled the trigger several times. Why am I shooting Maverick? Maverick collapsed instantly and looked at me with a pained expression. Beneath him lay Izmi, dead. Why? He was trembling and took a few slow steps toward me, only stopping when I aimed the gun at him. Stop right there. She killed them and you protect her? We needed her. I told you I'd show no mercy if I found the killer. Just when I thought I could trust you, I should have known you'd shoot me, just like Reza did. It's not like that. Then why? I don't think I can explain it. He shook his head weakly. Thanks for proving me right. Do you remember when I confronted you a while back and asked you to explain your reasons? You told me I wouldn't understand. And you're right, I don't. His head slumped and he closed his eyes. He was dead. Oh. Why did I kill him? What was the point? If she was going to get killed anyway, just let it happen. Aw, man. That's not good. Hi Bryce. I'm afraid I've got some pretty bad news for you. Okay, so what's that? We were able to power the portal again, without the generators from the lab, but we still couldn't re-establish contact with humanity. Okay, why not? Ever since the portal got sabotaged and was repaired, the coordinates, the connection to humanity's portal, it just isn't there anymore. Can't you locate it again? We don't know how. We found a different set of coordinates in there, but for some reason, we aren't able to use them. Yeah, that's for me to go back in time so I can restart the game. I know, only I can. They're for travelling back in time to the day of my arrival. I guess you really are a time traveller. Now that you know everything, that really shouldn't surprise you. I'm surprised he's been so good to me considering I killed one of his closest friends. Ugh. What are you going to do now? Well, I guess return to humanity is out of the picture. So it's either staying here or using the portal to return to the day you arrived here. All that time travel business is too complicated for me. Izmi had it all figured out. I'm wondering what she would think about this outcome. All she ever wanted was to save you dragons, just like Reza only wanted to save humanity. Neither shied away from killing people, so maybe you shouldn't look to them as pillars of morality. Either way, I'm not sure if you really have much of a choice here. They don't actually know if they can stop the comet. Of course they'll try, but without the generators from the lab, it's not looking great for us. I initially came here to help humanity, but if I go back with what I know, maybe I can help you too. At any rate, it was nice while it lasted. Yo, no need for melancholy now. It's not as if we're never going to see each other again. Soon, I was preparing to return to the day of my arrival. Despite her actions, Izmi made a good point. Thinking about the knowledge I had now, I realised just how important it was to remember and how it would help me during my next attempt. No doubt, the teleportation would erase some of my memory again, but I could think of a few ways to retain some knowledge. Not only did I take my own written account of what happened with me, but there were also physical reminders I could bring to remember, such as Izmi's mask and cloak. With her gone, I was now the one with the most experience. As I made my way to the portal, I realised that in order to make this mission a success, to save everyone, this time I would have to save just myself. And that is the end. That was I'm assuming that was the bad Bryce end. Maverick got killed again. I think this is the second time I've seen this guy killed. But yeah, that's the third ending I've got now. And I'm still quite enjoying this game. I'm interested to see what other secrets. You do get a little bit more every time you play. And that's kind of the fun thing about it. It's quite intelligently layered that you get to get a little bit more each time. And I've really enjoyed it. And I hope you are as well. Let's stick around and do some more of this. And this is Ushio signing off. And hopefully I will see you next time. I'll see the first good ending. That's a good ending. What?